Thank you. Thank you for having me today. Actually, today I would like to share with you a personal story about global governance over the past decades. Let me show you a photo. This is me introducing China global governance philosophy to the global media at a press conference at a G20 summit, Turkey, in 2015. To be honest, there were very few media outlets at the time. And not many countries at that time believed that China should have a global governance philosophy. People at the time were more skeptical of China. Many believed that China, having become the world's second largest economy a few years ago, would inevitably be caught in a fierce struggle with the existing hegemony, the United States, on the way to becoming the world's largest economy. Harvard professor, very famous professor, Grant Edison, even gave it a charming name, Thucydides' trap. 10 years later, I, with my colleagues, have traveled to over 100 countries to explain China's global philosophy. At the same time, China has held a lot of international summits to introduce global governance philosophy too. For example, the 2016 G20 Hangzhou Summit and the first Belt and Road Forum for International Cooperation were held in 2017 with further summit in 2019 and 2023. And China also held several BRICS and Shanghai Cooperation Organization summit in Xiamen, in Qingdao, in Tianjin this year, as well as the once sensitive dialogue between the Communist Party of China and the world. So, based on those so many summits, I heard a very important comment from a former foreign president who frequently visited China. He said once, over the past decades, the United States has launched dozens of major military operations to prove that US remain the world's most powerful country, while China has held dozens of major summits to demonstrate its desires to work with the world to promote a new international system of extensive consultation, joint contribution, and shared benefits. In September 2025, at the Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit in Tianjin, President Xi Jinping proposed the Global Governance Initiative. This was another major initiative from China following the Global Development Initiative, the Global Security Initiative, and the Global Civilization Initiative. These initiatives are the cornerstones of the China's foreign policy and the forerunner of its foreign strategy. They represent the vision of a rising civilization, a rising civilizational global power for the world. The hope to reverse the current slowdown in the global development, the deterioration in global security, the imbalance in global civilizational impact, and the deficit in global governance. Although they represent the vision to promote the building of a more just and equitable global governance system and work together for a community with a shared future for mankind. So the deeper value of the four initiatives lies in their mutually supported organic wholes. Development is a foundation of the security. And security is a prerequisite for the development. And mutual learning among civilization is a key of the mutual understanding and trust. And global governance reform is an institutional guarantee for achieving the first three goals. So this kind of the systematic thinking is urgently needed to address the challenges global complexity. So some Western media, they often keep the skepticism about China's the four initiatives, because they often those ideas are often stem from outdated zero game thinking and institutional anxiety. So in fact, China's four initiatives are not meant to reinvent the wheel, but China wants to push the reform and improve the existing international system. So history has proved that the rise of a new great power is inevitably accompanied by the ideological contribution and institutional innovation. For example, the Western value system laid the foundation for the modern international relations. And Britain world system created by the United States in the 20th century established the post-World War II international economic order. So today, China's four initiatives respond to the widespread expectations of country in the global south for a fair and just international order. This further evaluated by the sharp itself, the sharp rise of favorable views of China's national image and show in numerous global opinion poll in recent years. So the rise of a civilizational global power requires not only the economic and military strength, but also the ideological leadership and the agenda setting power. So I think the four initiatives, like four dimension coordinate, define a new paradigm for China's interaction with the world. No longer simply exporting goods and capitals, but sharing development experience, security concept, civilizational wisdom, and governance strategy. So the philosophy of diplomacy signals China's gradual transformation from a participant to a leader in globalization, and from a consumer to a provider of international public goods. So over the years, I have personally communicated with a lot of presidents and prime ministers from dozens of countries, including the French President Holland, the Turkey President Erdogan, and the Russia President Putin, and the late US President Jimmy Carter, as well as many international renowned scholars and experts. So more and more countries and international organizations have come to realize that China offers not only solution, but a significant framework and methodology for addressing global challenges. So in this regard, over the past decade, my colleagues and I have actively participated in a lot of international conferences, lectured at hundreds of universities and publish a lot of articles in hundreds of international media outlets. All of this reflects the Chinese people actively participation in leading the global governance and building a better life. In July 2025, I hosted the China Latin American Human Rights Dialogue in São Paulo. Representatives from over 20 Latin American countries expressed a very strong desire to cooperation with China to enhance the future well-being of mankind. In August, I delivered a speech in Addis Ababa titled Prospects for China-Africa Relations in 2050, which was enthusiastically endorsed by participants from over 40 African countries. In September, I spoke at East Economic Forum in Vladivostok about the upcoming rights of Far East. The audience represents over 30 countries was thrilled. So this personal experience demonstrates that compared to 10 years ago, I no longer alone. None will struggle to find an audience. So this is because China governance philosophy and the vision for the global level is gaining increasing attention. So finally, I'd like to share a familiar picture of Tiananmen Center. Remember these two slogans on the left? Elite, long live the People's Republic of China. On the right, long live the great unit of the peoples of the world. So this is China's strategic resolve and the goals the Chinese people strive for. So I believe that the great unit of the people of the world and the goal of building a community with a shared future to mankind will surely be achieved. This is my opinion. Thank you.